Hello everyone, welcome to Trackside with Tom. Today is April 10th of 2024, and it's always an exciting day when we have a new webcam to announce. And I am very pleased to share that with you today. I'm also curious how many of you decided to go out and chase the eclipse on Monday. But we'll get around to that in a little bit here. Hello everyone. Hello Rocky Run and Daniel Swanson and Michael Richmond, A-Train, Santa Fe Man. Hello everyone. So we're going to go directly to our newest location, which is in fact Ames, Iowa. And I am very happy to announce this location for a number of reasons. I guess to start out with, probably the controlling factor in all this is, so I lived in Ames from 1997 to 2001. And although I was not a member of the Iowa State Railroad Club because it didn't quite exist yet at that time, I did meet a lot of the guys that helped get that club off the ground. And one of them, actually, John Shriver, is now the faculty advisor, got hired on at Iowa State University with the to be the club advisor as well. And this is the location where, if you're in any way familiar with 24 Hours at Ames, the events that would go on every April, the Iowa State Railroad Club always put them on. And that's something that happened originally right at this location over here. If you can kind of see, it's a concrete lot now, slightly over to the left. And that was our original location for 24 Hours in Ames. Did that several times. And, we would be there. It was April. Sometimes it was kind of chilly out at night. We'd bring blankets and coffee or Mountain Dew or whatever people needed to stay up through the night. Lawn chairs, got rained on a couple of times, all of that. But that was the location, and this is now, this host location, Skees Cole, is the directly adjacent to where that parking lot is. And so that's why, in talking with John Shriver the last couple of days, and the guys that, it's not the same guy that owned Skees Cole 25 years ago, but his son-in-law now, and they were just really pleased to be able to have a webcam looking at this location. And so now we have an Ames webcam, and we also have this kind of memorial to the fact that the Iowa State Railroad Club does not do this 24-hour event anymore. But this is something that I love this location for a whole host of reasons, and I really like the history that's involved with it as well. So let's talk a little bit about downtown Ames, Iowa. Now, this is the UP Clinton sub. We are looking west, and over here on the side you see this cantilever signal bridge, and then there's a signal mast over on the right side. It's kind of an odd configuration. The cantilever signal bridge has a single signal head on it, which is for Main 2, the main line that's the closest to us, although it's actually the second track as you're counting down from the top. On the right hand side is an absolute signal, and it's got two signal heads. That is the entrance to the Jewel sub for trains that head up to Eagle Grove. There are Eagle Grove manifest trains. I don't know any sort of frequency as to how they run, but I do know that they run either Des Moines to Eagle Grove or Boone to Eagle Grove, one of the two. And they also have primarily grain trains, ethanol trains that go up the branch line to Eagle Grove. And I do believe that it's also some directional running, where the trains going up to Eagle Grove go up the Jewel sub from this location. Trains coming back from the Eagle Grove go down the Terra sub and then come out at Grand Junction, excuse me, which is, I don't know, 10 miles or so on the other side of Boone. So what we're looking at here is, looking west, we've got 4 tracks. As we're going from the top down, the top track is main 1, the second track is main 2, and then you also have, in the foreground here, we've got 2 tracks that are, these are stub tracks, you can't see the end of them, but these are what used to be part of the East Ames Yard until the Ames Yard until it got moved out further east. And at one time, this location would have sat in the middle of what was the Ames Y, and trains headed for Ankeny and Des Moines on the C&W would have gone around the Y and gone off to the south. If you look at it on Google Maps, you can actually see along the west edge of the Ames DOT building, you can really see where there's this obvious curved side to it where the railroad tracks used to run along there. The host location is actually Ski's Coal, and they do still receive, I think he said, between 10 and 12 hoppers of rock salt and coal each year. The coal that goes to the Boone and Scenic Valley gets unloaded here, interestingly enough, and then trucked over for them to use on their steam engine. And then the rock salt, for a long time, it was rock salt that they had a contract with Story County DOT, well, Story County and the DOT, to provide rock salt for their highway trucks. And I don't know if that's a continuing operation or not, but they do have some unloading going on here. You can see they've got this, there's an elevator here, or an auger here, I should say, and this is an unloading pit underneath the tracks. And then this third track here, this is usually just used for maintenance way right now when they tie up down here in Ames. And then this 4th track, the bottom track, or the furthest to the left, however you want to consider it, this is the one where Skis actually unloads their coal hoppers and salt hoppers. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of what we've got here. This is downtown Ames. You can see that you can just barely kind of see the traffic. This is Grand Avenue that goes underneath the railroad tracks at where this bridge is. And this is looking west, so the College Hill and the Iowa State University would be off in the direction that we're looking right now. And then the Jewel sub splits off, and it runs more off to the right. If we could see it, you would see it split off and then take a hard right and follow literally what's called Northwestern Avenue, I believe, as it goes out of town to the north and kind of to the northwest. So let's take a look at some timestamps from Ames. The motion detection is active at Ames, and this is something that I feel like is a really neat addition. Oh, and I guess before we do this, I do want to point out too, I've got this zoomed in image of the signal bridge down here in the lower left also. The signal bridge is actually right here. I don't know how much the zoomed in image is really adding anything, but I figured I would try it out for a while and see what people think. And so I'm actually going to start a poll right now, and we're going to ask, do you like the inset image, signal bridge image on the lower left? Yes or no? Let's start the poll and see what people have to say. I'm curious to know what people's thoughts are. Do you like it? Do you think that it's too much? Do you think that you can see the signal bridge well enough? Give me an idea what you think, because there's other locations, if you guys like this. East Dubuque is another one that comes to mind, where there's a signal bridge that's kind of out of sight, but that you can potentially see with a zoomed in image. So that high signal on the cantilever bridge, that one is always lit up. The absolute signals on the right-hand side are actually approach lit. So with our timestamps, we know that we can go directly back to 9:39 a.m. for the last train that went by here. And we're going to skip back. That's 10:01. Keep going. I think I found it. And so this is perfect, actually. This is an eastbound train, and you're going to see how they appear down here, way down in the corner, coming around this curve, and then continuing from left to right. This guy is eastbound, so he's going toward Marshalltown and Cedar Rapids. And he is I believe he is a loaded ethanol train, and if I remember right, he's got a DPU with another cover car on the rear as well. So, as this guy is rolling by, let's get caught up on our comments here. Yes, CNW Railfan, hello, Dave Robinson, Ahoy, A-Train, M Helium, Barry Anderson, Dave Kroger, yes. Hello, Dave Kroger. And that's something else that I was going to get to, but we'll just address it right now. First off, I had the privilege of presenting out at Ames Railfans, which now meets in Boone last night, but definitely enjoyed that. So thank you for everyone who came out to attend, and thank you also to Dave Kroger, and Dana Grief, and Rich Ketchum for meeting me for dinner last night, and providing a great meal there last night. And then thank you to Dana specifically for bringing tools, and Rich for supervising during the installation at Skis Coal. Dana and I have worked together on a couple of installs. Definitely always enjoy having him around, and Dana and Rich got to catch up a little bit. Rich was there definitely providing some supervisory and some very, very useful input during the whole process. And here we see the rear of our train coming up. So I think this is the end of... yes, there's an NS SD70, it looks like, as our rear DPU. And then I believe we don't have to go back too much further. And we found another train. This one was at 9:09, I believe. So let's see if we can advance just a little bit and get this guy in picture. So this time we have a westbound train. He's on Main 2. Looks like the 7979 is the leader, and 7654, pair of GEs. And this should be a westbound manifest, although quite a bit of well graffitied boxcars, refrigerated boxcars there on the head end. I know the graffiti artists always like it, that white boxcar is kind of like a blank piece of paper to them. So, anyway, this is definitely, yeah, westbound manifest going toward Boone here. Lots of CHS hoppers. There's some scrap guns. All kinds of fun stuff. What else do we have here? Let's look at some more of our comments as we're rolling this westbound by. Turf, greetings. A-Train. Can do 24 hours at any time now with the cam. That's right. And that's something that will... All right, I think we need to go back to 8:48 now. We'll see, there's a... Here we go. Look at that. Timed it out perfectly. 8:47. Now, this 9818, somebody was trying to tell me that this was a former CNW unit. I know that there's that last CNW unit it's patched, but in green and yellow paint, that was running around the last couple of days on the Marshalltown to Proviso trains. Apparently, this is a former CNW unit as well. But it has the new flag scheme on the nose. Anyway, here we have a eastbound container train heading towards Chicago. We'll see if it has any trailer on flat car on the rear of it or any chassis back there, which would designate it as a Z train rather than just a regular container train. But lots and lots of containers here. Lots of container traffic moving east today. So, Garen Henderson, hello. Stephen Kern, new location be on the train station page. Yes, it will. We will get it added in. Oh, I skipped a couple here. 24 hours with the cam now. Yes, that is something that I would be interesting to know. Oh, so we have the results of our last poll, but interestingly, yes, I would love to be able to do an online 24 hours. So, oh, here's some UPS trailers. So this is, in fact, a Z train. He's got a block of trailer on flat car and some UPS trailers there on toward the rear. So that's definitely an indication that this would be a Z train. I would love to do that. I think it would be something that'd be neat to organize. And I really do think that this could be something that could help drive some participation, for instance. So let's, keep that in the back burner because I like the idea. Stephen Kern, Turf, David Robinson, Daniel Swanson, A-Train. Good to see you guys. For a while, I only knew the Jewel sub was southbound only. That's been some time now. I don't know. Maybe it is that the Boone sub is north, or the Terra sub is northbound, Jewel sub is southbound. That could be. I just know that it's directional. I'm not sure exactly which way they're running things. And here we see the end of our container train. I'm going to actually jump back to an overnight timestamp because I would like to... I think we can get one. So with overnight, this is from 5:19 in the morning. You can see that green signal really clearly, but the other signal is quite difficult to make out. And maybe that would be better if it were zoomed in more. But it does seem like it's getting just a lot of lens flare. I was pleasantly surprised, I'm not going to lie, about the lighting here at night. And I do really feel like that the lighting really helps this a lot in terms of being able to enjoy this all day. So that's something that I was really pleasantly surprised. And then apparently we got a beautiful sunset at Ames yesterday also. So you can see the headlight coming up here, just starting to poke through in between the trees, as this is a eastbound coming up to the camera location. So what else do we have here? Garen Henderson, hello. Mac Doyle, riveted rail fan, hello, hello, hello. CNW rail fan. So helps for mobile users. So I'm guessing that you're talking about the signals down in the lower left. All right. So what do we have here? We see this guy is on Main 1, and we have an eastbound manifest. And I'm not seeing, I did notice that pair of flat cars up toward the head end. That would always scare me a little bit as an engineer. But what else do we have here? You know, tanks, 3-bay gons, 2-bay gons, or 3-bay hoppers and 2-bay hoppers. There's an empty gon, it looks like. So yeah, what else do we have? Let's check up on some more content here. Turf, UP leader on a bear table at Fort Madison. Interesting. Steve Enemans, yes, good morning. Dave Kroger. Oh yeah, the Terra sub, the loaded ethanol train, it could have come off the Terra sub, you're absolutely right. BNSF power moved through Ottumwa. Yes, thank you, Dave. Yes, definitely enjoyed. We had Dennis Hovland, Dave Kroger, Dana, and Rich all out there. Ames Railfan. Yep, plug for Ames Railfans right there. Second Tuesday of the month at Boone and Scenic Valley. And, oh, there's the end of that train. I did want to go back also to, let's see here. We're going to go back just a little bit further, grab one more run by at Ames, just to show you a little bit of the overnight look of things. So now, from this, you can see that you've got a high green on Main 1. It's green over red. And again, the lens flare does kind of blow that out and blow that image out a little bit. But you can pretty much make it out. So you know that you've got a westbound coming up here on Main 1. And because it's approach lit, you know that he is somewhere past Nevada. That he's been able to light up these signals on the approach block. And so as he gets close, we will, yep, there comes the headlights. There's a kind of a gentle curve as this whole thing is on a big curve here. And the former C&W Ames Depot is out of the image to the right as well. And here we have a westbound container train. And just about to knock down the signal over there. I don't know how clearly you're going to be able to see it, but there it goes. Just went from green to red. Not the easiest thing to tell, but it definitely happened. All right. Some more comments here. Thank you guys all for participating. Definitely appreciate it. Yes, Ames Rail fans got 576 passing Bellview, meeting a ballast train at Green Island. That's exciting, yes. I know that there was a... Buddy, you had sent me a message earlier about the leader on that ballast train. Definitely want to go and look that up later. Yes, a rebuild for 9818. Yep. That was that former C&W unit that's been rebuilt. Let's see here. Already planning to do 24-hour video for Ames soon. Thank you, Tyler. Tyler, Kansas Train Videos. Thank you for creating all of our highlights. Definitely appreciate that. Let's see here. Sand Hills at Griffith today, 5:09 a.m. We can go check that out, certainly. Mark Dallas, hello. Railroad companies treating their locomotives like a caboose as they put them on the end of the train for a DPU. Sometimes they put them in the middle of the train. Yes. it's not really that they treat it like a caboose. It's supposed to reduce in-train forces. That's reducing the number of derailments, reducing the stress on knuckles and couplers and drawbars. That's the real reason for it. When you have a heavy, long train, it makes sense to not have all your power on the head end, but to distribute it throughout the train. Nina TCS, they were near Waukesha, now CNM 347 to Canada. Nina Cam this afternoon and across to Point for 3. All right, yeah. Nina, Wapaka, and Stevens Point. That is correct. Great Sandhills Railway, SD 38-2s, 2022 and 2009. All right. Well, that's good to know. Thank you for the information. We'll definitely have to look for those later today also. Jeff 5, how many trains come by this camera? Well, I believe that we're going to see between 40 and 50 moves in a given day. Obviously, yesterday was a partial day, and I didn't have the motion detection working all day. But I'm going to skip this back ahead to real time. Oh, and we do have it. Look at this. We have a train going by real time here. So let's back this up just a bit as we have. All right. So we know that we have something coming. UP 2590 and 6054 are our leaders. Another westbound manifest. And as this guy rolls by, yeah, you do see him going by here, and then you're going to see him knock down that signal for main 2 as well. So the reason I jumped back here, though, oh, look at those. Those are some of those ex-Amtrak boxcars that have been repainted, stenciled over. Anyway, so the current train count here, and this is from basically half the day, from midnight until the present time, we're at 18. So I think that 40 is a perfectly reasonable number to expect. One thing that you can expect, and I know that this is true of not just Ames, but other places on the Clinton sub as well, you do generally get westbounds coming out of Chicago because of metric curfew. They come out of Chicago after curfew in the morning. They end up running afternoons and early evenings westbound across the Geneva, Clinton, Boone subs overnight, afternoon and overnight. This is something that I do expect that there will be a kind of a cluster of traffic coming through westbound in the overnight hours. So there is the rear of this westbound. And ooh, we might have an eastbound lined up also. I see that we're all red there on main 1 as well. So there may be an eastbound coming. And it looks like we just had a 3-hour block of no traffic. Yeah, 9:39 to 12:25, almost 3 hours with no trains. I have the volume off, but when you're watching this Ames camera, it's also worth noting there's a 40 mph speed restriction going through downtown Ames, and there's a whistle ordinance. So the trains will come through here ringing their bells. They will not blow their whistles unless if there's some kind of an emergency or they're trying to get somebody's attention. So let's see here. So I would, yeah, to answer your question, Jeff, yeah, I would expect about 40 moves, 40 to 50 moves in a given day, somewhere in that neighborhood. Maybe on a slow day, you get down around 30 or 35. And this is something that all of this software is something that the last 5 trains, the train count, previous days count, that's something that I want to expand to all of these webcams eventually. it's a slow process, really defining it and making it something that can be applicable anywhere. But it is something that I'm working toward, and I do really want to make that happen. It's just a matter of having the time to get it all rolled out. New camera after this one. So yesterday I put this camera in the morning, and then I met with some prospective hosts in Boone yesterday afternoon. I'm pretty confident that something will end up happening there. It just has not yet materialized. But there's the potential for more webcam locations, and then I do have some installs lined up in the coming weeks as well. So stay tuned for more cameras, definitely. I'm really looking forward to getting more coverage out here. What else do we have? Railroad companies maintaining their roads on your cameras or lack of maintenance with maintenance away being laid off. No, I mean, that's something that the railroads are going to hire and lay off people as they need to, and there's not really anything that any of us can do about it. Depot cameras coming. Well, yes, I mean, I do like the idea of putting cameras on or near depots because those are railroad structures, and they have a history with the railroad as well. So yeah, that's something that I do really. It makes for a good venue. I think that's the best way to put it. Let's see here. BNSF 4300 westbound Northtown to INT West with. All right. Went through Chemplo at 8:47 a.m. Very nice. Bellview, narrow gauge that ran from Bellevue to Lamont. Yeah, that was the Bellevue Cascade and Western. Yep. And nice camera angle for car numbers here at Ames. Yes, that is 100% correct. You want to get car numbers, this is the place to do it. Absolutely. 4 on the point of a stacker through Fort Madison. Southbound Cupcake Manifest. I love that. 12/22/08 at Decatur, Arkansas. Thank you, Michael Richmond. Thank you, Turf. Thank you, Nina ATCS. All right. Well, this is going to be I think we're not going to wait for this. However far this eastbound is away, we're not going to wait for it to show up here. We are simply going to move on. But just a final note, thanks to Dana Grief for bringing out tools and helping with the install, and thanks to Rich Ketchum for coming out to meet us and supervise, and both of you for really helping to facilitate this install yesterday. Definitely appreciate the help. All right. We are going to jump over to, I know that Buddy had talked about a ballast train. We're going to go over to Clinton. We're going to go over to Clinton and check out the same ballast train, hopefully. And let's see what we can find. Clinton, Iowa. No, not ending. We are just about halfway through the program right now. So let's go check out. We don't have timestamps here at Clinton, but I believe 10:52 is the timestamp that Buddy gave me. So let's go back and take a look here. I think I found it. So this is our view at Clinton, Iowa, looking south toward the UP Mississippi River Drawbridge, the Highway 30 overpass, and the CPKC. So we have the CP6017, which is a rebuild and repaint here on the head end. Rebuilt SD60. We have a KCS 3928 coming up second, and then the CP5046, which is might just be a repainted. I don't know if this is a rebuilt SD40 or if it's just repainted. But definitely an interesting consist for sure. All AMD, and that 3928, I think that is a wide cab SD60 or wide cab SD70, one of the two. Somebody can tell me in the comments there if that was a wide cab SD60 or SD70. I'm just not 100% sure. And then we have this Herzog Ballast train. KCS is on there because they're all one big happy railroad now. They're, yes, the CPKC. So they share power. They share power definitely very, very liberally between the two parts of the system. Jeep 30 Eco. All right. Got it. SD70 Mac. Thank you, Michael Richmond. Yep, that makes sense. And this is an empty Herzog Ballast train, probably going back up to Wisconsin to get reloaded. You may actually see this go by the Columbus camera because that's where the CP goes to load their rock for Trek projects. So it's possible this guy could go up to La Crosse and go east over to Columbus to go into the quarry that way. Ryan Winan, love the new camera. Yes, the Ames camera location. Definitely very pleased with the Ames camera location. Thank you. This is quite the, this is a long ballast train. Usually I imagine these ballast trains being shorter. Just so that everyone's aware for the ATCS users out there, 5th Street, 5th Street Clinton has been converted over, and now the track warrant block in downtown Clinton has been taken out. So when you look at the new ATCS map that Adam Harrington just put out, he shows it as being ATCS block territory now from Command straight through to Deer Creek. So you can track train movements all the way through there, as well as being able to see the movements on the UP side as well. And on the UP side, the Mississippi River Drawbridge and the UP part of 5th Street Clinton, those were all cut over, and I believe that Mark said that that's basically done now. There's not going to be any more updates to the Geneva sub west of Rochelle, because the parts that are still active are from Elmhurst east and then the actual interlocking at Rochelle. So thank you for the heads up, buddy, on the ballast train with that 6017 in the lead. And what else? Let's see here. Oh, we had a timestamp at Griffith. Where was... Yeah, Henry, if you have... 509, I found it. 509 at Griffith. All right, let's jump over and check that out. So thank you to the Clinton Historical Society for hosting us in Clinton, Iowa. And thanks are also in order to the to Skis, Cole, and Ames. Griffith Railcam. Check it out. Oh, that is not it. We want the actual live Railcam. Oh, I had a hard time finding this before, too. I guess I have to do this the old-fashioned way. Go here, go to live feeds. There we are, Griffith Tower, got it. And then we're skipping back to 5:09 a.m. So we got to go back quite a few hours. Turn this back on so everybody can see what we're talking about. There's a manifest crawling around the connection from the South Bend to the Madison sub. We gotta go back another hour though. 5:09 a.m. Keep going. Keep on going. Well, this is interesting. We've got a conductor riding a shove over here. I cannot tell. Maybe once he gets into the light, we'll be able to tell what he's actually got. But it looks like a pair of switch engines and a single tank car. Oh, those aren't even switch engines. Those are... That's an SD70. That's an IC SD70. I think that second one is a repainted IC SD70. Well, I don't know what the story is with that, but I'm fascinated that we caught it. Okay, so moving on. We're looking for 5:09 a.m. And we will hopefully find what we are looking for. Oh, a little too far. Back this up just a bit. We gotta find the head end power. Okay, so these two units that are trailing, those are the Great Sandhill units that are kind of a green and yellow color. That's what Nina ATCS was talking about. And this is also a westbound on the former J, going around Chicago on the CN. Westbound on the Madison sub. Potentially heading for Homewood or maybe even just going all the way around the loop. So let's see what we've got for comments over here. Yes, rebuild SD40 into an SD30 Eco, yes. CP apparently likes CSX. I have on the Chattanooga sub and 1 or 2 every 3 months. All right. Should see the Ballast train shortly at Bellview. Definitely hop over and check that out and roll him a buy again. Getting married soon, congratulations. 2:24 a.m. Loram through Fort Madison. Thank you, Binky. Appreciate that. How many trains go through Albee on an average day to the shops and grain silos south of town? Ryan, I do not have an answer for that. There are probably other people that have a better handle on that. I just don't know enough about train traffic in that area to be able to accurately answer your question. Darren Henderson, CPKC closing in on their 1-year anniversary, which is on Sunday. Yes. Getting very close to that. Yes, 5th Street has been renamed. It is now simply called Clinton. That's right. 4 mid-DPUs on a train at Fort Madison. Thank you, Turf. Is a cam at Naperville, Illinois, too far of a location for you? No, it is not. If you have a lead for me in Naperville, Illinois, I would love to hear about it. That's probably, you know, when you talk about places that I'd like to have a webcam, the racetrack is right up there. What does a flashing red over red? I've seen it the last 3 nights when CN passes through the signal block in Galena where the siding is in town. So flashing red over red, that should be a restricting signal. That should mean that basically proceed prepared to stop. And it may be that they're lined into the siding as well. But they may just be having signal problem. But that's the sort of thing I would expect if you have a restricting signal where a train is going into a siding, for instance. That would not surprise me. Or if they're following another train and within the same block, that could also create a restricting signal. Okay, you're in Bellevue. Yes. Just saluted the Bellevue webcam. Thanks, Buddy Burton. All right. Well, let's switch over to Bellevue. Because when we have a reporter live in the field, I hate to leave him hanging here. I'm going to pause this. Thank you to the Griffith Historical Society for hosting us in Griffith, Indiana. And let's go to Bellview. And we will pull up 2nd Street Station, Bellview, Iowa. And as we go over to Bellview, we should only have to go back here a couple of minutes. Here is beautiful downtown Bellview, Iowa. And I think that we found... Aha! There he is, Mr. Buddy Burton. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in front of the camera. Yep. Big salute, big wave. All right. You just got your 30 seconds of fame there. Good work, buddy. Let's see here. On the 4 on the point through Galesburg, Ferromex. Interesting. When does M337, 338 usually pass Griffith, and do any other trains go through Dubuque? I think that 338 and 337, so if you think about it, 337 is the westbound. I think that it goes by Griffith very early in the morning, kind of like that 5 to 6 o'clock range in the morning, and then runs in the afternoon and evening to get into Waterloo overnight. 338 is going the opposite direction. He's going east, and he's departing like mid-morning or even lunchtime from Waterloo, getting into Dubuque in the middle of the afternoon, and then continuing east, because I believe they are usually shooting for like a Freeport meet with those trains sometime in the afternoon or early evening. So he should be getting into Griffith, going by Griffith to get into Kirkyard again, probably overnight or even early the next morning, potentially, depending on how quickly he moves. So that's what I would expect. 337, 338 should both be kind of overnight, early morning moves past the Griffith Tower. Hopin111, hello. You finally caught a Trackside with Tom for the first time in months. Good to see you. Definitely. So we do not have... I wonder if I can pull up my... Well, we're going to go and scroll back here a ways because we've got to... I know that you said he was making a meet, so hopefully we can find... There it is. Yeah, we found the meet. All right. We got the flashers on at the intersection here in Bellview. And now we see that we've got a southbound just starting to peek in between the buildings. Looks like he's got a CP AC 4400 in the lead. One unit wonder, I suppose. Yep. So there's your CP leader, and this is a loaded crude oil train from Canada, 576, going south. Grain train through Ottumwa, thank you. And we will be... I don't know if there's any update here, but this guy was about 45 minutes ago going through Bellview, which means that we should probably be expecting... Yes, this is the 576. So this is where I would expect pretty soon we'd see that northbound Ballast train starting to show up in Bellview as well. I guess around 3 a.m. for 338. That's what I would guess also. So that's kind of where we're at here. And while this guy is rolling by, I wonder if I can get I wonder if I can get this pulled up quickly enough to figure out where exactly is that northbound coming out of I just don't know. We're going to look and see. Is he actually lined out? Is he getting close? Do we have the ATCS map up? I'm sorry, guys. It's taking me longer than I anticipated to get this pulled up. But I am really hoping that we're going to be able to have... Well, it's just not going to cooperate. There might be one other thing that I can do here. If I switch over to here and be able to open up, I think this is the one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it looks like they're just now making the meet at Bellview. I do not see. Yeah, I did find that. So we are not yet getting... The northbound is lined up through Bellview, but he is not yet... It looks like he might be still just making the meet at Bellview. So we're not going to see that northbound just yet. All right. What do we have here for another comment? Asking for my friend Dave, works in the UP at Geneva. Sterling to Rochelle local. Sterling to ADM Clinton local. Sterling to... All right. Well. All right. Well, that's good. Good to know. Great Sandhills for CN Nina sub called for 1528 in Fond du Lac to go northbound. All right. Well, there is our DPU on the... They got a KCS motor here on the rear of this 576 train. And we are going to, for our last train of the day, we're going to jump back over to Ames and see if that eastbound ever showed up. Because I think that, there we go. I think that there was an eastbound lined up. I'm fascinated to see if he has made an appearance yet. And it looks like we had a, oh yeah, we had a roll by at 12:36, so we know right where to go to. Yep, eastbound. Loaded coal train, it looks like. And, oh, went a little bit too far. I was going to try to pick that number off the leader. 76.95 and the 25.77. Leading on a eastbound loaded coal train. Really, you know, been the bread and butter of the UP across this area for years. And so this is going to be our final roll by of the day. Thank you to the Bellview. Oh, hang on a second. I managed to leave you guys in the dark here. We'll roll this back just a little bit. There we go. Yep, I think I caught it just about the same time that you guys did. But here comes our eastbound loaded coal train. This is going to be our final roll by of the day. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Definitely appreciate. We had 45 people logged in live today. Appreciate all your support. Definitely check out steel-highway.com. Help support the channel. Like, subscribe, tell everybody about it. And make sure and... oh, the final note. I almost forgot. Final note today. We are... I am going to be at the Davenport Train Show on Saturday, this coming Saturday. So anyone that's in the area planning on attending the Davenport Train Show, I will be there. I will have a table. And I definitely plan on having all kinds of fun stuff there to share with people. Hats, camera straps, all of that. So make sure and come out to the Davenport Train Show at the Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds if you are in the area and want to come out and put a face to the name for Steel Highway. And a face to the voice, I suppose, too. So thank you everyone for logging in. Thank you, and please keep telling everybody about Steel Highway. Have a fantastic week. We will talk to you next time.